What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Muscle and Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Coach David, and I have my co-host, Coach Swift. What's up, man?
Official.
It's good to see you.
It's official. Good to see you too.
Again, for the past
Yes.
7
I love this
8 hours.
distance.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a deep connection, but separation still.
I'm on board with that.
I feel like you're invading my personal space.
Well, what's up with the chairs we're supposed to get?
Oh, I mean, it's money.
It
Money
is.
needs to be made.
It
and,
is.
we went shopping and I couldn't find anything.
I'm not uncomfortable
I'm not uncomfortable either.
when
but-
the right one happens.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, today we're going to talk about what happens. Also, today I have a challenge. My language has to be completely different
We
today.
got young ears near us.
We have young ears right in front of me, so there's not going to be any profanity.
Yeah,
we-
we got a working gym
Yeah.
this direction. You can't
Yeah.
see it.
So,
Anybody can come in at any time. And we had somebody come in like, you know what?
Yeah.
You
So
hit
today-
the
yeah.
beat button.
today we're going to talk about what happens when your day goes to crap. What happens when you had a schedule planned and you wanted to get all these things done and you couldn't simply because something else happened. So I'm going to give you a little, background story on why we're doing this episode. So yesterday, actually, you didn't know this until I sent you the notes. I created 18 programs for my clients, and none of them saved.
Oh, jeez.
None of them. And when I create a program, I put all my brains, all my 7 brains to work. And I just go into like, this needs to be perfect, right? All the math and all different stuff. And I just lost.
I can't take it when one doesn't save.
I
Are you
lost
trainerized?
all. No, this is all
Handwritten?
like mathematical stuff to it was nutrition. It wasn't training.
I see.
And so it hurts more. So I had to do the work again. Anyways,
Deep
so,
breath. Do it
yeah,
again.
a 5-second deep breath. So not only that, we had a situation here at the gym where our neighbors, allegedly broke a pipe that made our sewer, back up, and we didn't have toilets. The water was coming out of the toilet
At the
and
bottom.
at the bottom. It was crazy, and it smelled like absolute crap. Okay, and I was here yesterday at the gym until 9:40 at night. I had to go home and also be a husband, clean up, do all this stuff. Dog dad, and I had to be here at the gym. I got here this morning right at 4:15, which is a little bit later than normal, because I wanted to clean up the place to make it smell good. And my schedule yesterday was the complete opposite of what I wanted it to be. So that's my story.
Yeah, and when something goes on, it shows on your face.
Oh, dude.
The energy changes. You got
Yeah.
like a
I think it's pretty. It's
face.
very visible, huh?
Yeah, I can read you. Oh, gotta be careful today. Oh, something's going on.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Leave him alone. He's not joking. It was bad because we had people in and out of the gym, bathroom all the time. Like, hey, you can't flush that. So having to close the bathrooms and we're drinking water all the time. Myself,
Yeah.
I didn't like it myself, but it's fixed. And as he was going through that, I'm like, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal because you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Call the plumber. Relax. So 2 sides of the store. I didn't have to pay for it. But hey, you call the plumber. You're involved. It's not like you're just leaving it hanging.
Yeah. And so
I'll
now
take care.
going into what do you do when your day goes to So I made a couple notes that I actually would like to go over because, I can just talk and not get to the point, which is seems to be very, very normal when I start talking now. So let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Where are my notes?
You copied a whole lot.
Okay, yes.
It's in,
So here's what I wrote. Actually, when I write stuff like this, I send it to my clients first. I post it in the group.
Yeah.
And they're the first people to know how I'm feeling and what's going on.
Mhm.
Because that, it goes directly to how our coaching day will go.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that you have to do is to keep it real and accept the situation. Understand that not everything is in your control, and it's normal to have unexpected stuff and setbacks messing up your plans.
And when you say that, I think of a lot of people who have control issues and they want massive control, the vice clamped down on everything.
I do that.
And I haven't noticed it, but maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's why your expressions are the way they are.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't go right, you can't lose control of that because then you're just making the problem worse.
Yeah.
Got to let go. Letting go is so important.
Yeah. So second note was to, where is it? Where you go?
You copied a whole lot.
Stay chill and keep your cool.
Yeah, that's.
Take a deep breath.
You do. Are you done with that? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You do that well, I think. I think it might be more internally. It might be
Yeah.
more of a fire, but you do keep it cool. Dealing with the neighbors as you went outside today, I was like, I'm going to stay out here just in case. He's not a violent man. We're not talking that. But they were pretty passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Outside, they were like, you guys need to quit using your toilets. I'm like, well, we got a running business in here. Stop. Like, well, we can't. It's not our fault. We're not doing this on purpose. And I didn't like the direction it was going either. So this morning when we met after the plumber had been here, he was coming through the parking lot as they arrived at their business. He's like, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm like, oh, he had a march going on. I was like, let's just listen. And it didn't get bad. I know you're not going to handle things that way. But I know you wanted to really, behind the scenes, you wanted some smoke.
Yeah. I had to. You have to be professional when you're dealing with people who are not as professional as you are.
You got
because then it gets aggressive, it gets very vocal,
and it loses
and
the point. You're not getting anything solved.
Exactly. You're used yelling
Yeah.
over each other.
Yeah.
And your day keeps going to
Mm-hmm.
right. So here's the thing. Going to the next point that clicks in perfect. Check the scene. Figure out why your day turned out into a hot mess. See what's in your power to change what's out of your hands. So I'm not a plumber, right? So yeah, if I wear it, I wouldn't be great. Or actually, I might be a good plumber. I think I'll be great at anything that I put my mind into.
Everybody, I agree.
Right. So what did I do? I just decided to figure out what was in my hands and what I could do. Called the plumber. They got it fixed. We were here until 10 p.m. at night, and moved on.
Boom.
Now, what is the other thing that I did yesterday that it was out of my control until it wasn't? Losing all the programs, right? And what did I do? All right, let me take a deep breath, smile, wave, and rebuild the programs.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and that was in my control. So I didn't suck anymore. I'm not a plumber, so I have to wait for a plumber to show up so they can clean the right? So, anyways, where do you think you have lost your chill at times because your day went to crap and you couldn't get a hold of it until the very end of it?
I haven't thought about that in a while. It's happened. I don't know if I got a good example for this right now.
Why?
I don't know. I haven't. I've been in such a better state of mind lately.
Yeah.
I don't have.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't have the turmoil I had before finding this place and investing myself into it. But beforehand, I can't think of anything. It's happened before, but I know it's like, dang it, I want things to go right my way all the time. Why does it have to happen to me? And that's I can insert this. I say, why me sometimes? And that's taking the wrong turn. It's not about me. This is why life is just like that. I can't answer your question when the last time. Why anybody? Why anything?
Right.
I can't give you an example of when it's happened last, but I'll say it happened a lot more before I was peaceful inside.
Yeah.
If that adds anything to this conversation.
It does. And, using another point that will help is that what I did yesterday is that I only paid attention to what really mattered.
Yeah.
Which was getting back to my clients.
Yeah. And
giving the programs that they needed.
Yeah.
And making sure that we had a toilet.
Yeah. I thought of something to give
everything else got put away. The most important things are my clients and the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else got done later on. I finished it, but not until later. All right.
Reshuffle. I thought of an example.
All right.
I wanted to get someone a gift.
Okay.
Financially, I could not, and it burned. I could not. I got them what they asked for, but I wanted to make it better. Fortunately, I couldn't do that, and all I did was just kind of beat myself up, and that wasn't solving anything. I made it a lot bigger than it was, so didn't lose my cool. I was more mad at myself. I was just like constantly, why? It doesn't do anything except doesn't do anything except make you feel worse.
So
that's
you
one example that I have.
allow yourself to let your day go to
It does. That point it did. And I had that attitude for a while. The energy changed when I walked in the room. The person said, "What's wrong?" They could tell because I was just like boiling over with like disappointment in myself.
Yeah. So
I let it get to me.
It happens, right? So I'm gonna put you in the spot here.
Okay, that's where I like to be.
I'm gonna use another, another point that I wrote, and it's to solve the problem. How do you think yesterday we handled the situation that we had?
I think well.
All right, explain it. I'm gonna help him set up his account. So keep talking.
So what happened yesterday was, hey, the toilets aren't flushing. Water's overflowing. I let you know about it. And we went out back where all the other tenants were, and they were discussing it and kind of kicking around what happened, maybe tossing some blame here and there. And one of them came over to speak to us and say, hey, call the city. The city will be able to help you with this. Called the city. They were out there. Then they started saying, call a plumber. In my mind, city, this is your water line. Why don't you fix it? So then the blame starts getting tossed a little bit. And the only thing we could do is say, okay, we'll take care of our part. They kept wanting to toss the blame on us. I said, David, just call a plumber. That's all we can do. Whenever we did, it's just, give them time to show up and they handle it. And David was just upset the problem was there, not that he couldn't get it handled. So part of this issue too is like, do you know what to do in that situation? Trusting on other people you call to help with the situation. And everything I didn't tell a story that's amazing right here. I just said, here's what we did. And they did it. Just like anybody would do in this situation in business, I would hope. Got a problem with water? Okay, plumber's here.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
But you didn't like throw stuff. You weren't blaming other people like our neighbors might have kind of wanted to been doing. I thought you handled it well. I don't know what's happening internally, but externally,
I don't ever blame anybody for anything.
I wish people wouldn't do that in the first place.
I don't even if they broke something, I'm not gonna say you did that. It's like, and you figure it out. I'm not gonna be pointing fingers at anybody. I think that's stupid. Yeah. But one thing that we did, and the reason why we're able to get it done, is because we didn't try to solve a problem that we didn't have an answer to.
I like that.
Right.
Oh yeah, I can't.
That's what most people do.
There's a pipe broken off in the ground. I can't do anything.
You need to understand that at times you don't have the answer to your problem.
That's a good point.
So you need to get back up.
Good point.
Let's go ahead and shift this into fitness. If you don't know anything about training, how do you expect yourself to have a good workout when you have no idea what you're doing? You walk into the gym,
hit or miss.
And what's the first thing you do when you don't know what to do?
Look around
and walk into the treadmill.
Oh, I wouldn't, but okay.
Yeah, but you're not an average person.
Sure.
The average person will do that. They don't want help.
I would say they go to what they know and stay there.
Yeah.
But you can walk.
If you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've been getting.
Right.
So you will not see any progress, when it comes to trying to achieve a, better physique, more training knowledge and all this different stuff. So get back up when you need it. Same thing with nutrition. Well, let me go on Google and do keto, Jenny Craig, and whatever other garbage.
Because your other program didn't go as planned. Tie-in.
Exactly. So,
and you don't know what you're doing. It didn't solve the problem.
So, how do we come up with this solution to literally stop your day when it doesn't go the way you plan? What's your number one advice? I mean, we've been given steps on what to do, but what's the first thing?
you got to have a good mindset. Like in my example, I was upset I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and that went to a deeper problem in me, probably with an insecurity.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to handle the situation, and your mindset is the main part of that. Keeping cool, understanding you need to flow sometimes, you need to pivot. It's all mindset. It all comes down to how you think. If you go irrational things are going to happen. If you say, okay, what can I handle, just like you said, and follow those things, I don't know. It's not difficult for me to answer.
Yeah.
Maybe someone else can have that. I'll throw in expectations. I don't know if I'm jumping this early.
Go ahead.
So if you expect it to be the way you want it and it doesn't, that's okay. We don't need to have these expectations that let us fall too far down. I think I'm getting off topic here. I answered that in like one simple question.
No, but I get what you're saying. One thing that needs to happen when your schedule doesn't go as you plan is that you need to adapt. Right?
Well, yeah, I guess I'm taking that for granted from no one else.
You do what you're supposed to do, but maybe you have to change the order of the things that you're supposed to do.
I see.
Because if the air is pushing it in,
yeah,
you're fine.
The wind is going to keep
the wind's blowing it, so it'll keep opening up and closing. So what you have to do is to adapt and understand that, well, what I couldn't do this morning, I might be able to do it later this afternoon, but I need to get it done because something happened in my day.
Right.
If all your schedule and everything that imagine that everything went as planned all the time. You know how perfect the world will be?
I know, right?
Guess what? There is no perfection.
Are you serious?
God.
You're kidding me. I'm being facetious.
Well, yeah, okay, sorry, but God is the only thing that's perfect, right? So, go on.
I was going to throw something in. I want everybody to go to YouTube and type in Bruce Lee, Be Like Water.
Oh,
it's from a movie
Yeah.
he did, and in this interview, someone's asking about that, and he says it goes like this, and he says, be like water. Water can flow, water can crash, water adapts. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Put water into a bowl, it becomes the bowl. Water doesn't resist. Water goes around. Water flows. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do in your life sometimes, because you can't always crash your way through. Sometimes you got to flow around. That explains a lot. And think about that. I get very philosophical on things. I think about that all the time. When I get upset or when I need to adapt, I say, be like water, my friend. I want everybody to go look that up.
Write it down in the comments. Be like water. And from that just leads to a really good point. And that's the simple tip of learning from the mess. Take a moment to internalize and realize what you're able to obtain as far as knowledge and experience goes from the situations that you had to go through today.
Absolutely.
In order to, because you had to adapt, you had to make a change, and change always brings some type of something into your life, right?
It does.
Even when you might be expecting the change, even when you might not be expecting the change, there is something that's going to be added on top of your everyday. So what can you learn from what's going on in your life that might have not allowed you to get to where you wanted to be, but it will put you in a position that later on in life, you could use that knowledge from that experience
Better off
to do something better later on.
Links to yesterday's conversation. My quitting that I thought was a failure is a platform to help other people. I think these conversations are going to do that. If you listen to the one before, there's a connection piece. Here's another connection piece. But yeah, you get things from these, I don't say mistakes, you get things from these unexpected events that happen to your life. And then understanding to be calm to handle it just helps everything else straighten out even more as you go.
I think there is 3 words that will help you overcome most situations in life. And that's simply to adapt and push forward.
Yeah.
If you remain stagnant, of course, you will be in the same place.
Isn't that interesting? Water needs to keep moving before it becomes stagnant too.
Yeah.
So use it again. You've got to be like water.
Yeah.
I want to bring up the expectations.
Okay.
On my notes, that's kind of where they were. expectations are something I've been dealing with, I'd say, this past year. Not dealing with, I think understanding. A lot of my, I don't say problems, a lot of the emotions I have, like upset over something, I've discovered comes from me having too high of expectations from people.
Yeah.
My dad always taught me to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing. Call me out if I'm not, because I want to know. I'm the person you tell me when I'm doing wrong, because I'm about self-mastery. I want to know when I'm not doing right so I can fix that. We just blinked. What does that mean?
Will you switch your cameras?
Gotcha.
We're good.
So okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So as I was saying, I want to know when I'm wrong. So self-mastery is my thing. And I've came to learn that expectations that people are going to do the right thing have led to a lot of my frustrations, because people are not going to do the right thing all the time. They're going to try. They think they will. They're going to protect themselves. And someone had a quote on the board. Is it still there? Expectations, yeah, still there.
Yeah.
Expectations are just premeditated resentments. When we think something is going to go, expect it the way it is, and it doesn't, there is a cause for problems. And we always say, don't expect things. That sounds kind of negative. We need high expectations sometimes. That brings us happiness and joy. But I've been trying to develop a relationship with expectations, and I'm having to bring my expectations lower. What's going on? I don't want to say because people are going to do you wrong, but they're going to. But things are going to mess up. And understanding expectation is probably a big hurdle for a lot of people. If you understand a relationship with expectations, you might can lower it and have a better, I guess, a calm attitude during things, or you're not as affected when something happens.
Dude, that was deep.
I put it back. It's a deep thought. I've been thinking about that a lot. It's true.
That was good.
Thank you. That's in this brain a lot.
That was Swifty.
Quite swift.
That was quite
Do you like Taylor
Swifty.
Swift? Do you like Taylor Swift? I don't know. No, come on. Anyway, little girl.
Let's wrap this thing up.
Okay.
And understand and remember that not every day in your life will roll as smooth as you want it to be,
right?
But it will roll.
Right. It's gonna roll.
It's going to roll. It might be a box
Yeah.
trying to just roll down
like a square wheel.
Yeah. Eventually, what's the road gonna do to the square edges?
Straighten it out.
It's gonna smooth it out. It's gonna be a big bowl.
That's a good point too.
Right? Yeah. So don't sweat it, but adapt, push, and understand that life is difficult. And when something doesn't go your way, there's a reason for it. There are no coincidences. They don't exist. Only circumstances. Right. And the people who don't get the circumstances that they want, guess what they do?
They lose, they fail.
No.
What?
Yes, but successful people, when the circumstances are not what they expect,
they adapt, they pivot.
They make them.
Oh.
Right? Or Nightingale.
Yeah.
Right?
I got you.
So if you found any value from this episode, go ahead and share on Facebook, comment your biggest takeaway, and we'll see you all tomorrow. This got deep, man. This got me thinking.
Expectations are mine.
It got me thinking a lot.
Think about these things.
Like I went in a deep. Dang.
Go watch the Bruce Lee Be Like Water thing, seriously. And think about that when times get tough. I got to be like water. I tell myself that a lot. When something's going on, I'm getting upset. Be like water. Flow through it. We can't end it right now. There's a book I've been reading.
Okay.
The Untethered Soul. It's a deep book. If you want to get deep, it's a deep book. It talks about your experiences aren't who you are. And one of the things it talks about, it's letting life flow. If something negative comes in, we talk about one ear, one out the other. All right, whatever. You let the situation hit your head. You don't react to it. Let it flow out. Life is such a flowing thing.
Yeah.
So it goes back into that point. And I tell myself a lot, be like water. And I've calmed down so much. I don't have a bad attitude, but when I would start getting, I'm upset, be like water, and I flow. And flowing is a big part of life. I'll cut it down.
Coach Swift, that was smooth.
Keep Swift in the lifted.
Guys, we're out. I'll see you tomorrow.